Article 20 is the reassignment article. At the onset, I should say that it is quite possible for reassignments to happen. People do get relocated to different offices, and often this is very difficult or troubling for members when this happens, especially if you've been used to working one location for a long period of time. Suddenly, change of administration and what have you, you're moved to an entirely new location. Management may implement geographical reassignments, as with the consolidation of offices that took place several years ago. Management should first request volunteers for reassignments, so there should be some sort of a program in place asking for volunteers to be moved to a different office. The Article 20 also talks about creating job swap programs for a way of dealing with the need for reassigning folks, where you can swap jobs with another person, say in a different region, if it works for you. All that is needed by the administration is to give a 10-day notice, written notice, to the individuals who might be affected. Now, if the reassignment should prove to be a hardship, as when you're being reassigned to an office 70 miles away from your current office, you can submit a memo stating that you have a hardship, and it's the determination of the agency whether or not that hardship request will be honored. If you have any problems with this type of issue taking place, certainly speak with your stewards, call your union president, get some guidance. Sometimes we're able to intervene and modify the orders, and often we can't. So just keep in mind whether or not the validity of the hardship and the fact that things do change occasionally. David?
Yes. Wearing both my management hat and union hat, my advice to management when I was in a management position was to always have a meeting with an employee before a reassignment took place, not just to drop the 10-day notice on an employee. At the meeting, management should explain the legitimate business purpose for the reassignment. At the meeting, the employee should get answers to the following questions. Is this reassignment permanent or temporary? Were volunteers solicited for this reassignment? Why was I selected for this reassignment? What is the business purpose for this reassignment? Will my hours remain the same? If not, why not? Will my job duties remain the same? If not, will they remain consistent with my job specification? Will my supervisor change? Will my EPRS in Form 30 be amended to reflect the reassignment? This is also your chance to raise any hardships that management should consider concerning this reassignment. In the past, management would often use reassignments. Well, I won't say often, but from time to time, reassignments were used in place of disciplinary actions. It was really a way of disciplining the employee without taking disciplinary action. There is new language in the collective bargaining agreement which will stifle this.
Okay. Thank you, David. Richard?
Sure. The language that David was just referring to in the new collective bargaining agreement regarding disciplinary transfers reads as follows. It says that reassignments shall not be implemented for disciplinary reasons that are arbitrary and or capricious. That's a very important change, because in the past the transfer language was somewhat weak. Yes, the employee did have the right to some notice and could raise issues of hardship, but there really wasn't much in the way of language that had any teeth in it. Now with a prohibition that I just read to you about banning implementation of transfers for disciplinary reasons that are arbitrary or capricious, we've got something we can go back to the management with if they do something that really does seem arbitrary or capricious and it's done in the context of a disciplinary action. So keep that in mind. If a member comes to you with a transfer that seems to be unfair or unreasonable, you can bring that up with your local president after you've spoken with your member.
Thank you.